Hello, welcome back to me playing Oxygen Not Included. I see some skill points are available to be given out, so we'll do that. Everyone but Roboto. So you can actually see when someone is about to get an upgrade. Roboto is not far away from that, so they'll be not far behind. I'm going to give advanced research to Thenko. We're going to be able to use the supercomputer. Ago, we're going to work towards the critter ranching. Not there yet, but hopefully have that soon. Digo, you're going to have the ability to dig through granite by having hard digging. And what I'm going to do is dig out this area. And what we're going to start with is some water engineering. I've got this water caches here and here. They're kind of in the way of some construction, because what I'd like to do is build a spot over here where we'll eventually be attending to some hatches. But I want to have that water out of the way. Might as well remove this water here. I will have some future construction I want to have there. So my idea is I want to have some water stored down here. I'm going to be careful in this particular world that I don't put it into a spot that's way too cold. Everywhere is pretty cold. I think in this zone I'll be okay. But we'll watch that. So we'll let the dupes dig this out, and I'll be back with a plan to move this water. I see Roboto now has skill to give out. Didn't take too long. I would like them to have electrical engineering, so let's give improved tinkering so they can work towards that. Let's see, we're starting the process of digging out this spot where I'm going to have some water stored. I've got mixed feelings about allowing anyone but Thenko doing some research. One of the disadvantages of having someone else do research is they're a little bit slower. On the positive side, however, this does up their research ability, which allows them to enhance their skill leveling going forward. So I think I'm going to allow it for now. Research is complete. We were researching one of the advanced item, actually the rooming station. But right now, I think I'd like to have a rock crusher to enable a little bit of automation, so we can actually turn these lights off when they're not being used. It's time for another dupe. This is Crito. They're interested in tidying, digging, and ranching. Initially going to be using them for their ranching skills. Going over the skill menu, they get a skill point right away. And I'm going to give them farming so we can eventually get to critter ranching. It's going to give me 2 dupes with the critter ranching skills. I'm going to want to attend to some critters in this location, so I'll start building this spot out. So this is a little bit of micromanaging, but no one is using this room. The lights are on, so I'm manually going to turn that off by cutting this wire, saving power, and hoping to remember. Oh, speaking of which, I guess this is getting I've only just started. This is kind of already getting annoying. Forgot Roboto is in a different schedule. So what I'm going to aim to do is put in some automation so that can be done automatically. So research is complete on a rock crusher. The next thing I'd like to research is a dupe sensor so we can turn lights on and off. That's down here with a smart home. So let's put in rock crusher. We'll do that right here. And I'll put a storage location for input to that right next to it. Rock crusher is being completed. The input to that, at least initially, is going to be some copper ore. So I'll put in a bit of that right next to that. That, of course, is going to need some power. So let's plug that in with a wire. We also want to have a light source. Actually, kind of lucky now that we have a shine bug right next to it. I could actually cut the... Oh, I don't know if I... Actually, let's experiment right now. This is probably over managing things too much. But as long as this is still laboratory, it is, okay. So all you need is a light that is connected to a wire. Doesn't have to actually be on. But the shine bug is actually giving this to the lit workspace bonus for the time being. This is, again, micromanaging, but there we have it. So research is complete on automation. I can't actually create anything unless I have some metal, so let's create a few pieces of that over here. So we have Ego trying to create the first pieces of metal. Notice that we don't have a light source for them. We would actually if there's shine bug that's getting to them. Actually, that technically is the case at the moment. But I see that we have a duplicate sensor, so I'm going to put that in place. I'm going to put that right here, so that the dupes have a light source other than just the shine bug. And I'll put a second one right here when we're able to. In the meantime, let's put a lamp right at this location, so that we have a light source even when that shine bug is not in existence. Digging out this spot here, I'm going to eventually bring some water down here. And one thing I am going to think about is putting in a pump before we put water there. It's a little bit easier to build in a dry area than it is once everything is all wet. So I'll build that, also build in the actual pipe that's going to go up into here. Once we have an automated sensor, we can really connect this. So we'll know that that'll turn off when the dupe is not actually present. And we've got enough for another dupe sensor right here. This is going to control this light. Make sure that is off when the dupe is not in this area. Let's have a look at research. One thing I like to do is use electrolyzers soon, so we'll just research that, so we'll have that technology when we want it. Research on electrolyzer has been complete, so I'm going to put that right here. That's going to convert water to oxygen. It's also going to produce a little bit of hydrogen, which can be problematic. I do have this spot here for that to float out, but you can also take advantage of it from power production. So I'm going to put that in place right now. I forgot that I'm on a very cold world, and this Bluff Blair is not happy, which means we don't have a Great Hall. That's not a problem for the time being. That starts to get to be a problem once you sign more and more skill points, because their expectation for morale goes higher and higher. So I'll aim to increase the temperature or have a different decoration source in the future. Just about the point where I want to have water dumped down here to get it out of the way. Before I do that, I put in this pump, but I see all of this food source. I don't want the dupes to have to fish this out later on when they get hungry, so I'm going to get them to move it now. And then I'll have the water sent here. I might have to up the priority for them to actually move this. Well, no, looks like we're fine from that perspective. So we have the automation in place, so we've got two lights that are turning on and off. They're only on when dupes are actually present, which is nice. And what I'm going to do is, as soon as this is gone, we'll create a wall right here, so we can store water on this side, while still allowing the dupes to be able to get down. And once that's in place, I'm going to create a tile right there, and then we can let the water fall down. Alright, with this tile put in place, we can now dig out the spot to actually send water down. Get it out of the way. And just checking to make sure I've got water going down. It's going to fall down here. Splash down here, and the expectation we'll have a big water cache at this location. Just about to begin. The dupes are cutting out this spot down here for water to start flowing. Here we go. Speed things up just a little bit. And we can see some water making its way down here. Getting out of the way so we can do some construction. I think this is where we're going to end off on this episode. So now we have some automation for lights to go on and off. We've got this water starting to get out of the way. We've researched various things. We've got an electrolyzer running. You can see a little bit pieces of hydrogen filling up. That's going to be very useful in the future. And I will see you in a future episode where we'll carry on advancing the base and seeing where we can get to. Till then.